Hey, good evening everybody. I thought I'd do a video talking about my family because it's something that not many people know much about. Um, and my family are generally very rich people. All of them are rich individuals, they are successful, and I'm like the black sheep of the family because I have suffered a lot in my life and I'm a mental health authority involuntary client and I have a very low income compared to them. So let's talk about them. I'll start off with my father. My father has been a general practitioner for more than 30 or 40 years at least. I would probably say possibly longer than that, possibly 50 years. And he's obviously very rich as a result of that. He shares very little of that with me. Although one thing he does do is pay for my body corporate fees for my apartment. Most of the time he pays for my body corporate fees, which amounts to approximately $5,000 or $6,000 a year, which is like pennies to him. It's probably about as much as he earns in the course of a couple of weeks. My mother depends on him for her financial support, but she herself has riches amounting to maybe $300,000 or $400,000, and she obviously spends quite a large amount of that on herself. She has a car probably about $30,000 worth, which is not the most expensive car you can get, but it's still pretty good compared to me who doesn't have a car at all. My father has I think he's got an SUV or something. He hasn't told me about it. He has never expressed his opinion about his car to me. But he lives in a big house in O'Malley, which is like the most expensive, one of the most expensive and richest suburbs in Canberra, Australia. He also owns at least 4 properties. He has possibly $600,000 or more in Australian shares. He must have investments elsewhere and around the world, like in Singapore and elsewhere. And they have a very, very good life and they're very contented, and compared to me obviously, but they lack empathy to myself, so they don't understand my predicament and they don't sympathize with my predicament at all. Their health has been good throughout most of their life and they've been very blessed in terms of their personal experiences. They've been able to travel, they've been able to buy things for themselves, and they do things like gamble and, you know, drink coffee and go to the local club and probably do other things which are a little bit suspectable, but I don't know much about their private life, so I can't comment on that. My aunt and uncle are also very well off, but they divorced at some stage in the mid-2000s, I think. But both of them have owned numerous cars, BMWs, Toyota, Lexus, lived in houses in some of the richest suburbs in Canberra. My aunt has been a real estate agent. My uncle was a computer scientist slash technologist, and had 2 children, my cousins, who are somewhat closer to me than my other cousins. So my cousin Dennis has been a real estate agent for a long time. In recent years he defriended me on Facebook because I insulted him in a joking kind of way. It was completely a joke, but he took it the wrong way. And he's owned a number of new cars. He has at least 1 son. I don't know much about his other children, whether he has other children or not. And my other cousin, his brother Edmund, has also been fairly successful as far as I know, but probably not quite as successful. I think he worked as an English as a second language tutor or teacher in some part of Japan or something. But I don't know much about his personal circumstances, so I can't comment on that. but I have the suspicion that he's doing at least as well as I'm doing, because I'm living on a pension. My brother has been a computer scientist for a long time, doing very successfully. As far as I know, he's been earning at least $70,000, $90,000 a year as a computer scientist and doing very well in that. But he doesn't communicate with me. He excommunicated me many years ago. He's married on about 4 occasions. I don't know how his latest marriage has gone, whether he's still married or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's been divorced again. So that's the story of my family. I have no problems with disclosing their circumstances, because I believe it should be public information, and I believe that people should know more about how they've neglected me and how they've failed to account for me and my own personal circumstances. Yeah, so my mum has excommunicated me as well. My mum has decided not to talk with me anymore after I told her that I was communicating with a prisoner from the United States. So I'm pretty much alone in this world. Don't have many close friends either. But mental health are still badgering me about forcing me to take medications every month, which is causing me depression and anxiety on a daily basis, and of course the police are involved with that as well, and they torment me and abuse me. Just every time I walk past them, they give me the shit. So that's my life, everybody, and I hope you learn a little bit more about me. So thank you very much, and bye for now.